for today's cup of coffee, we're going to approach a subject which could be very, very lengthy, but we're not going to make it very, very lengthy. We're going to be talking about the Georgia Guidestones. And this has been going on for a long time. And that's what sort of amazed me that you did not, because some people have referred to them as the American Stonehenge. In fact, this article that I'm going to use refers to them as that. And this comes from Smithsonian Magazine, and this was Rose Eveleth.
Eveleth.
Yes. September the 10th, 2013. So that's been a while. And the article is entitled, "Nobody Knows How to Interpret This Doomsday Stonehenge in Georgia."
A Doomsday Stonehenge?
Yeah.
So why do they call it Doomsday Stonehenge?
If you listen, we be educational and shit. We really are. You're going to learn stuff about this. And she says in Elbert County, Georgia, there's a set of stones called the Georgia Guidestones. And they were put there in 1979 with a set of 10 guidelines in 8 modern languages and 4 dead ones carved into the slabs. But that's pretty much all anybody can agree on about them, as Jill Neimark writes this week at Discover Magazine, which it's not this week, it's 2013, their week.
Yeah.
And as far as how to interpret the guidelines and who put the stone there and what people should do about them, that has been a series of debates and is still a series of debates. But it's interesting because the 10 instructions on the stones say, 1, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. I'm just going to read them and then we'll comment on them.
Okay.
Number 2, guide reproduction wisely, improve fitness and diversity. 3, unite humanity with a living new language. 4, rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason.
Loves it.
5, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. 6, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. 7, avoid petty laws and useless officials. 8, balance personal rights with social duties. 9, prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. And 10, be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature.
Okay.
And there are people that they would be going, oh, well, this is all such and such. No, this is insidious.
Yeah.
But I'm going to read the rest of this, and then we're going to unpack this.
Okay.
Yeah. And it says that Neimark visited the stones and writes about the mystery behind them. The only man who knows who built them isn't telling. And he had stated, they could put a gun to my head and kill me, and I will never reveal his real name.
Yeah, that's totally not ominous.
Really. And it says, for the purpose of the inscriptions isn't even clear. Van Smith stated, one of the Monument's most prominent conspiracy theorists, says that they're for establishing the beginnings of a totalitarian tribal government. Another theorist said that the stones were satanic and should be destroyed. Here we go. This is our thing. Alex Jones, a radio host and famous conspiracy theorist, says that the stones call for culling of humans. Now, this was in 2013.
Well, it kind of does.
He's been right about many, many things. Yes. So people back then, they call him crazy.
Take a grain of salt.
Well, you can do that. But there's a lot of us that's been listening to him for a while, and it's sitting there going, damn, he was right.
Yeah, you started to think that about Marilyn
Manson.
Charles Manson, too.
Well, it's like this. He wasn't wrong on everything. But there is a vast difference between what Charles Manson said and what Alex Jones has said. And the purposes were totally different also. It says that many hate the stones.
Same salami, different sandwich.
When Randall Sullivan of Wire visited the stones in 2009, they had been vandalized with painted on it, "Death to the New World Order." Again, this was in 2009. It says not only were the stones supposed to give messages, but their arrangement was meant to be a Stonehenge-like astronomical device. Sullivan writes that the man commissioned to build them had to seek outside help to make that dream a reality. And the quote says that the astrological specifications for the Guidestones were so complex that Findlay had to retain the services of an astronomer from the University of Georgia to help implement the design. The 4 outer stones were to be oriented based on the limits of the sun's yearly migration. The center column needed 2 precisely calibrated features: a hole through which the North Star would be visible at all times, and a slot that was to align with the position of the rising sun during the solstices and equinoxes.
The house of the rising sun.
The principal component of the capstone was a 7/8 inch aperture through which a beam of sunlight would pass at noon each day, shining on the center stone to indicate the day of the year. It says, but today astronomers say that the astronomical features of the Guidestones are crude, and that it was compared as far as an abacus to a computer with Stonehenge. All right.
Loves it. Okay.
So then I had heard the other day, and somebody had discussed it more fully, and from the Daily Beast, a little snippet. This was by Will Sommer, and this came out May 8th, 2022, and that is Georgia gubernatorial candidate builds campaign on demolition of satanic tablets. And of course, these links will be in the description box. And that candidate Candace Taylor has stated, "I am the only candidate bold enough to stand up to the Luciferian cabal." End quote. And so it says that the person who had commissioned the Guidestones back in 1979 used the alias R.C. Christian. And he claimed to be representing a group of loyal Americans, that he was going to do this. And he wanted the monument made so that it could withstand a catastrophe.
Loves it.
And he wanted to buy more than 100 tons of granite. And because that Elberton is dubbed the granite capital of the world, that there are some skeptics who think that this may have been some kind of basically an advertising scheme to draw attention to the town's stone quarries. I think that's a little bit of a stretch.
Oof.
And that Christian only revealed his true identity to 2 men, the owner of the granite company that made the tablets and a banker who handled the purchases of the monument and the farmland where it now stands. Both men have since died, theoretically taking the truth about Christian's identity and whether he exists at all with them. Now, the insidiousness of this, if you want to call it a monument, since its construction, because nobody is going to put that much work and effort into something that's just, for shits and giggles.
Right.
And within that, as far as the 10 instructions, one can question, was that supposed to override the 10 commandments?
I hope not.
Well, that's what it sounds
like. Yeah.
And as far as who determines what the number of humans on this planet is to be in balance with nature?
Right.
Who is going to determine as far as what is wise reproduction? And as far as improving fitness, what kind of fitness? What kind of diversity?
Yeah.
Now, think of this. That has been one of the battle cries for several years now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is such a thing as diversity, which is a matter of appreciating and sharing different cultures and stuff like that. This is not what the agenda has been lately. It has been about division. It is a return to tribalism.
Mm-hmm.
This is mine, you can't has.
Yeah, pretty much.
On some of this stuff, which that's, nope. That is never going to work.
No.
New World Order, as far as uniting humanity with a living new language. And we were warned that there will be a one world government and religion.
Yeah. So why not a language?
So all this is, this is going back to Tower of Babel.
Babylon.
No, the Babylon was different. It was Tower of Babel on that, where it was everybody spoke the same. They had all of one mind. That basically they created this tower because they thought they were going to build their way up and sort of try to overthrow God. That, or that they were going to try to command him, that they thought that they could put him in their pocket and use him as they wanted to. There's people that believes that today.
That's insane.
Fools have always existed.
Yeah.
There are always fools. So within this, as far as protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts, who determines that? Who determines what is fair? Who determines what is just? Because if it's by man's definition of fairness and justness, that's always going to be flawed.
Yeah.
That's the reason as far as God's version of justice. Mm-hmm. And most of us don't want his justice. We want his mercy.
Yeah, we need his mercy.
Absolutely. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Okay, this external disputes. Now, as far as nations taking care of their own stuff, I agree with. I do. Now,
America needs to do that.
Absolutely. I think every nation deal with your own squabbles. Yeah. Other people do not need to be involved.
It's none of our business what other countries are doing.
Well, you've got some people, humans have been fighting with other humans since Cain, Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
It hasn't stopped. It's just a matter of the conflict. Mm-hmm. You've always got these people that go in, they fight, they conquer other people, they do whatever, and then decide shift years later. That is the brokenness of humanity.
Loves it.
And as far as goes on the dat, sorry. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Well, yeah. I agree with that. There's so many things on our law books right now that are stupid, and they, instead of clearing them off, they keep piling more on. Yeah. Somebody needs to go through this stuff and go, okay, we don't do this anymore, and wipe a lot of that shit out.
Exactly, but no. The thing is, they have the power to. They have the authority to.
Well, the people can demand it. They could sit there and go, all right, we need to go through these blue laws. We need to go through these that are no longer applicable. Let's just get rid of a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
Because what happens is you've got some people that they'll go back, my God, beyond what anybody can remember, they'll find this case, they'll pull that law out and use it in today's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because they never did get it off the books.
No. It's stupid.
It's a shit show is what it is. It's bureaucracy. It has nothing to do with as far as justice.
No, we all know that the law enforcement is corrupt anyway.
Now, as far as the useless officials, oh, hell yeah, we need to get rid of a lot of them. Yeah. I agree with that. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Okay. Again, whose truth? Whose definition of truth? Now, as far as beauty and love, even those, it is a matter of open to interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Seeking harmony with the infinite and what capability? Because it doesn't say seek harmony with God.
No. So, would you need harmony with God?
Was this a denial of God? One can ask that. Yeah. And then this last one, be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. And to emphasize that again, leave room for nature. And it's all good. Yes, I very much believe in taking care of the planet, that we are supposed to be the caretakers of it. But you've also got a new religion, well, it's not that new now, that believes that humans should not be, that it should just be the earth. That they literally do worship the earth.
Yeah. Well, if humans are not supposed to be, then why are we here?
Well,
like, seriously.
What did it say? It said, be not a cancer on the earth. So that shows you how they view humanity, which is totally different than how, the Abrahamic and other belief systems view humanity. Mm-hmm. That we were here as the greatest creation of God. It's a matter that he loves us as his children,
Right.
So this is, that has always been some very ominous things.
Oh, yeah.
But for this one, I thought it was interesting that this candidate has made that. I mean, she was going to wipe things out.
Like how...
Destroy them.
Dang.
Don't blame her.
Yeah, I don't blame her either.
Because there's a lot of people that have wanted the things to come down. Other people's like, it means nothing. Because a lot of times these people do not understand occult symbols, different things like that. So this has significance. Nobody's going to go to that much effort as far as the astronomy.
Right.
Now, if it's not that accurate, that's because they did astronomy, not astrology. Mm-hmm. There is a difference.
Oh, yeah.
So we will find out how Miss Taylor's campaign goes. I'd say that there's a lot of people that are sitting there going, you know what, when you think about this, there's something to it.
I mean, yeah, it's clear there is something to it, so...
But as far as...
tear that shit down, because it does not need to be there.
Yeah. And I don't know. It doesn't have... Because Stonehenge, we know, has a lot of tourists. Mm-hmm. And TripAdvisor and different places like that was funny as far as planning a trip to see the Georgia Guidestones. I don't know if that many people go and visit that thing.
I don't think so. But who knows, honestly. If we took a trip to visit, how many people would be there?
I would not. Nope. I'd avoid it. I'd say a lot of people avoid it. I don't know. But it was just interesting that these things, keep cropping back up.
Yeah.
'Tis the season. Mm-hmm. Anything else that you wanted to say on it?
No, not really.
Because this was a new thing on yours, wasn't it?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like that weird triangular metal rod that like popped up here and there, and then like it disappeared, and then another one popped up, but that one also disappeared suddenly.
Is that like the rectangles out in the desert and stuff?
Yeah.
I actually had read something about that, and it was sort of like an art project. Mm-hmm. And that they had to stop doing that because people were going out to the desert and vandalizing things.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Those are the cancers.
Well, I don't know. You've got all these people that scream, nature, nature. And then they go out and try to worship nature and leave a hell of a mess behind them.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that. That was one of the things as far as, Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Webelos, and different things. It was a matter of leaving a spot better than how you found it. Mm-hmm. To go out and pick up trash. And I've done that, I do that still if I go places, take a trash bag, pick up somebody else's. Yeah.
Yes.
So odd stuff.
That is really odd.
So if you've had experiences with paranormal, supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, if you've got theories about the Georgia Guidestones, if you've got local, regional, family myths or legends, send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. Description will be the link will be in the description box. There we go.
Yes.
Know that you're loved.
Uh-huh. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all, and have a good.
We'll see you on the next cup. Bye.
Bye. Ookie spooky.